probably tell that it's damaged. Hopefully nothing is... Oh no, that's so bad. I was not expecting this type of damage on my box. No. What happened? Damn. This box got so beat up. I was not expecting this. I've never ever received a super damaged package from Cokeys. This is like the first time. And this is obviously a live unboxing of this. First reactions of everything. Okay, we're about to see if there's anything damaged on this figure. Oh wow. So this is the 2014, right? Wow. Yeah, it does look and feel smaller compared to the others. Although it does have a very long tail from what I can tell. But come on, they could have divided the tail to save some space on the packaging. Wow, okay. Not bad. Yeah, they're a little bendy. I can fix that, no issue, honestly. Okay, let's talk about it and finally review Godzilla 2014 Heat Ray version. Before I get to the articulation, let's talk about a few things. The original had a lot of issues, specifically with the teeth, head sculpture, and the paint application was very messy. Overall, it was a big downgrade and people were not happy with that. I skipped on it. I didn't want to get my hands on that figure. The Heat Ray version looked a lot better. It seemed like a big upgrade with the head sculpture, especially on this section, the bottom jaw. I'll get to that later on. But let's get into it and talk about the teeth section. Biggest downgrades that we saw with the original 2014 was the teeth section. They weren't sharp, not painted. Here you can definitely see the teeth are there. Both areas you can see has like a dirty wash to them. And they're sharp enough, unlike the original that aren't sharp. Although the paint application could have been a lot better to highlight the teeth, because they do get lost with the same color of the body and the mouth section. Lines are done way better. You can see they're definitely almost perfect, and that's a big plus. They're not derpy or anything like that. And another thing that's gone is the horrible circle that we saw with the original legendary Godzilla 2021 or 2019. I forgot which one, but unfortunately the original 2014, I believe, had that horrible circle again, and I don't understand why. At least for this version, I'm glad to report that the circle is gone. There's better teeth, the eyes look better, and overall the details do look a lot sharper. The 2014 version, you see a significant design change with the dorsal plates. They're a lot smaller. The paint application is different. Significant change with this design would have to be on the feet section. They go back to that infamous elephant type of design that a lot of people were not a fan of with this original, official review of Godzilla 2014. There was a lot of people that just did not feel the overall design there. And obviously the shorter dorsal plates, as I talked about them. Let's see articulation. This is a little bit in between of upgrades and very simple at the same time. Let's start off with the legs, thighs, feet. So you can obviously get your regular articulation. This section was supposed to be a big key point of the upgrade, which a lot of people were hyping out. So you can bend this much, you can go backwards this much. You got movement side to side, very great movement here, I will say. So yes, they open this much, they close this much. For the tail section, there's a lot of articulation sections. For the most part, it does its job, except on the tip. The tip is just a regular section that's just soft plastic. Still does the job. You see it there. It bends nicely. Obviously, if you heat up your figure, you can get better articulation. But at the same time, you also expose your figure to becoming a little bit loose, and I'm assuming that's because they're using this softer material that's translucent. Typically, translucent material tends to be on the softer end sometimes. Now let's take a look at the shoulders, arms, hands. You can rotate them as any other traditional figure. Very nice articulation. So there you go. It's very simple yet very nice compared to other figures. Now let's talk about the head sculpture, head section. For me, on my figure, and I would have to say probably in general for any Godzilla 2014, it has nice sculpture details. It's really nice, don't get me wrong, but the articulation is not the best. You'll see why. So each individual part can obviously move side to side, and that's the issue. Unfortunately, this figure is not the best when it comes to articulating the head. Keeps falling off. So it's meant to move side to side, obviously, like this. But I notice it's not really the best. You have to really grip the figure and make sure that the ball joint doesn't pop out. The head is supposed to rotate side to side and have great movement. There you go. I mean, you can really probably get it to move a lot better there. See the figure's looking now in the opposite direction. Now let's look at the torso. So you get side to side movement, really great range, in and out. Nothing too impressive, and yeah, unfortunately that's gonna happen. Big key points with this figure was supposed to be the knee section, this right here. It was supposed to do something that a lot of figures weren't able to do for this specific line, and this is what you get. The figure doing awesome poses like that. There you go. You could probably recreate epic scenes from him when the building is colliding, falls over his body. That's one of the awesome things that you can do with the articulation on this. So this was completely engineered and improved, and then later on we saw it with the Godzilla Evolve as well. So really nice. I mean, it does get the job done. Again, I don't think it's anything too impressive to me. We've seen it with plenty of other figures. It's just that Hiya Toys was hyping this out to be incredible for their figures. We have this extra head, teethless. Looks kind of creepy. Then we have extra pair of fists for Godzilla. Ready for action. Bam, bam, bam. And most importantly, his atomic breath, which is unique to his design. I think every other figure kind of uses the same style, just modify a little bit different. Same with the GMK Godzilla to assemble the atomic breath with the head. So all you gotta do is line up the figure like that, get it in the right angle, and then it should look something like this. Up next, I'm going to remove the original head sculpture, and then all we have to do is replace it like this, and that is it. Although I have a feeling this is gonna fall, it just seems like it's gonna fall. You see that opening there? Yeah, I attached the head sculpture a little bit more tight, but still I don't think I'm going to be posing my figure like this. I feel like it's gonna get more loose over time with the ball joint. Although it looks really nice. I want to talk about the issues that I'm facing, and I'm not sure if anyone else has the same issue, but I noticed when it comes to sculpture wise, there's something wrong with the head. Around this area, there's like a little oval sticking out. I don't think that's supposed to be accurate. At least I'm looking at other Godzilla figures that I have, and they don't really have that. The other issue is this little section has it's built weird. Like the dorsal plates are not sculpted in right correctly, and this ball joint system or mechanism that they have for articulation is not the best. What I'm assuming is happening is either this is not the right size fitting with this, and the material could also be affecting it, because when you place it, just watch this. Any type of movement, this, keep in mind, is supposed to allow the figure to look side to side. It's doing it because I'm holding it tight, putting pressure. But you can see, you know, it's not fitting incorrectly. I do articulated figures, I do 3D figures and all that, and I can tell you that there's an issue, and that is why the ball joint keeps popping out extremely easy. You see that? Any type of movement that this figure is supposed to do will result in that. So I'm assuming whoever was in charge for this, either the material is wrong and the size is not tight enough. It's too big and you get this issue. It's too loose that it can't even tighten the ball joint, which is supposed to move like this, side to side with every type of movement. This section, because everything else matches perfect except here. You can see it's sticking out more. The part of the head sculpture on Godzilla 2014 is also beautifully done, except I don't understand why this section has to stick out so much more. And this is what you get at the end of the day. Like, yeah, it looks weird. I'm not sure why they chose to do this, but very bad engineering if you ask me. I could probably fix this by 3D printing a new ball joint that fits. I have to see the size for this, make it bigger, and make sure that it's in size with this head sculpture. So yeah, that's a very disappointing area that definitely could have used improvement, and I don't understand how they weren't able to analyze the figure and see that that was going to be a future issue for the articulation. Besides that, the figure has great articulation in the tail, legs, knees, arms, shoulders, except here. That's where the big disappointment comes into play. Again, this could be a specific issue with my figure because the package did get damaged. You saw that yourself. Although, if I am going to 3D print a ball joint, it's going to be some work, but not too over the top. You know, this is something that can be easily fixed by modifying the ball joint size and maybe the head sculpture. I also do not like this section, as I told you, but overall, very great figure. For accessories, I would like them to start including more accessories. I don't consider this to be accessories, more like alternative packs for your figures. Accessories would be something that goes along with your figure that brings more light to the overall sculpture, more ways to play with the figure if you're a kid, and if you are a collector, to pose the figure. I understand this can help, but it's not going to be a significant change. Like Hiya Toys, we've seen that in your promo images, you can do buildings. You have beautiful buildings. You have beautiful bridges and backgrounds. Why not start including backdrops with buildings? Imagine a 2014 with this. By the way, those are buildings that I also designed myself and printed myself. So if I can do it, there's definitely better options for Hiya Toys to improve for future articulation and accessories. On to the translucent test. You can kind of see it. It's not like too impressive, but you can see that the figure indeed is translucent. There you go. Demonstrate that a lot better here without the lights. Looks nice. Looks really, really nice when the effect is hitting from this angle. You see the highlights of the white come into play with this sort of lighting, and I'll demonstrate it in my other shelf in a second. Final opinion with this figure, it has great articulation. We see better improvements compared to the original. The head sculpture has seen a significant increase in terms of accuracy, better quality control issues. The teeth are done a lot better. We don't have that messy looking eye or eyes. And overall, it's a solid figure with translucent dorsal plates. You have accessories, you have the atomic breath, you have an extra head, and fists to switch between. The articulation on the knees are always welcome. That's a brand new feature for the Hiya Toys Godzilla. And the accessory for the atomic breath is nice. Overall, great details, great spiral on it. And I really do appreciate the improvements. Although it's almost done to perfection, there's always something stopping this figure, and that would be on the next section. The problems that I commented on, the issues with the engineering and how the ball joint / head falls easily is something that could have been easily prevented, making this figure a very solid Godzilla 2014. And it still is. You know, if you're looking for a solid Godzilla 2014, you don't have the monster arts because it might be rare, expensive. This is a very affordable. Now the sizing is a little bit on the lower size, but nothing too crazy, okay? And I'll do a size comparison by the end of the video. But overall, because this is the definitive version with accessories, better upgrades, and the previous mistakes are gone. So this is overall a solid figure for anybody that wants to pick it up. Make sure to use my code down in the description down below from CodeKiss. Use code RubyCodeKiss to get 6% off on all your purchases. Thank you guys for watching my review. I hope you enjoy this small and nice packed review and enjoy the rest of the video with epic shots.